This is the last Blitzkrieg from MMP Games. It's part of the Battalion Combat series. We're playing the full Battle of the Bulge campaign. This is the situation at the end of turn 9, which is the 24th of December 1944. As a quick overall summary, the Germans, they've reached the end of the road. They might make a little break. There's potential for a breakthrough in this sector here, and maybe even down here. But if you break through down here, you're on a you're on a road to nowhere, basically. It's not going to get you any closer to your objectives. If we look at the situation, we've got a marker here that shows the furthest west the Germans have ever been. So they've had to retreat quite a distance this turn alone because of Allied forces pressing in on them. If we look at sort of major areas of conflict, there's a huge battle developed here around the Swar River bridgehead, where the American 80th Division has crossed the river with the support of a couple of combat teams from the 9th Armoured. The Germans have responded heavily to try and cut that off. They've removed the 352nd Volksgrenadier, has shuffled up the line. The 79th has come out from the reserve and gone into the line to replace elements of the 352, and the Germans have used their strategic Panzer Reserve, the 9th Panzer, and moved that to try and cut off this bridgehead, or at least close it down. There's been another sort of unit that was moved into the this Panzer Brigade, which is trying to stop the American Armoured Combat Commands from breaking further into the German rear. So there was quite a considerable battle going in that area. Other areas of interest is the 5th Infantry, who arrived in force now, and they are pushing against the 79th. No, it's not the 79th, it's 276 Volksgrenadier unit. They should be aiming to reach the river bridges by tomorrow. If we go further over here, south of Bastogne, the 6th Armour has to spread itself pretty thin, admittedly, to prevent the 116th Panzer from making any further gains in that area. The 28th Infantry, so is it 26th Infantry's Americans are pressing the Germans' parachute division there. Bastogne, oddly enough, the Germans made an attack towards Bastogne, and because the 101st has spread itself out to try and capture as much territory as possible, they're in danger of actually losing Bastogne next turn. It's not a real problem. If they did, they'd soon get it back again. Breakout from this area is looking extremely unlikely now. The British 9th Armoured have moved into Saint-Hubert. The 2nd Armoured here is spread in a line all the way in front of what's Panzer and 3rd Panzer Grenadiers. But that is the only place where the Germans are likely to make any sort of breakthrough. We've got the 2nd SS is now in a position of a strategic reserve. Don't know where that's going to go. Probably going to try and help here. The loss of these two bridges here, just a set here, there. There. Bridge blown there at La Rochelle, and also bridge blown there, has effectively cut the German salient in half. You have to go a long way back by road to actually get round these broken bridges. You're never going to cross these these river, infantry can cross the rivers, but the armour is no way. They'd have to go way south around here to get involved in the fighting. Up north a bit, the German 1st SS assault on Houghton Bridge failed. They ran into a lot of, just move the camera up to where that is, Houghton Bridge. They ran into prepared defences of the 84th Infantry Division and just were stopped dead. 2nd Panzer ran totally out of steam. It was at fatigue level 4. 9th SS abortive attack around Chauvin, didn't really achieve much. Germans moved Piper's Kampf group out of the front line into a reserve unit. The Americans up north are breaking through. Now, whereas these parachute units here have sort of collapsed a bit, so Piper, Kampf group Piper's probably going to end up trying to shore the front up there. Amazingly enough, the Germans lost a victory point X here as well. I think it was Malmedy. I'm not going to go over to check that. So there's a lot of American pressure building up all around this salient now, and the game's swung the other way now. It's definitely the Americans starting to put the pressure on the Germans, and in terms of victory points, it's an American victory. There's no way Germans are going to win this now. It's just a matter of how much battering they can take before the Americans force the entire salient to collapse. I'm certainly not going to attack the same way as the Allies did. I'm not going to squeeze the end of the salient. I'm going to try and sever it completely and pocket the entire, well, pocket at least one German army if we can. And that's the situation at the end of the 9th turn. So how many turns left? 1, 2, 3, 7. There's actually 7 turns left of the normal game, and if you go for the extended game, you've got another 12 turns on top of that, I think. I don't think of anything else I want to say at the moment. Well, I just mentioned the Germans didn't do as well as they did historically, and that's my fault, because I'm a lot better player now at the end of this turn than I was when I started, and I would have made a much better progress of the Germans if I started this game again. And because of that, the Americans are going to be a lot more dangerous than they would have been if I was sort of playing this as a scenario from the start in these current positions. That's just the way it is. You just learn the game that way. In terms of Allied air power, this is the first turn when the Allies got a lot of air up. They had good atmospheric conditions, and visibility was high. Even though the conditions are freezing, it really did hurt the Germans having all that air power